Good morning again, and once again, welcome to the University of Crete. My name is Konstantin Manasakis. I'm an economist, associate professor in the Department of Political Science of the University of Crete, and I will give you a very short overview of a training program entitled Corporate Responsibility and Sustainable Development. And actually, we are very proud because the University of Crete is the first Greek university which offers training programs for master students, PhD students, and already employees related to the intersection between sustainable development and corporate responsibility. So the core of the program remains stable, and then we prepare customized versions depending on the audience. So the audience can be master students and PhD students, junior managers, INGENIUM master and PhD students, as well as employees. Now, we started this program with its various versions back to 2019. It was the first time that we offered this program. Now, the motivation, and back to basics, was that during the last 10 to 15 years, there is a worldwide, global discussion about the intersection between corporate conduct and sustainable development. So the General Secretary, so the first pillar of the motivation behind this program is the intersection between business practice strategy and sustainable development. So, and in the launch event for SDGs, the General Secretary of UN supported the view that we call on all business to apply their creativity and innovation to solving sustainable development challenges, which means that without the partnership with the private sector, sustainable development will never be materialized. This is the starting point. And then based on this, we have got a radically changing regulatory and compliance environment, at least for the European Union. So 1 year ago, we had the CSRD, which offers standards and approaches that listed companies in the European Union has to follow so as to report their sustainable development performance. So this is for the listed companies, and at the same time, for the non-listed ones, for SMEs, which is the backbone of the European economy, there is, during the last month, there is a new standard which tries to motivate and give directions to SMEs regarding the incorporation of sustainable development corporate, let's say, practices, and how to report on them, because there is now, we are in a phase where there is a growing demand of sustainability performance metrics from the banking industry. And companies have to respond on that, because interest rates have started being linked with sustainable development corporate performance. So some questions that we try to answer through the contents of these various versions of this program. Why is it important for a company to integrate ESG criteria into its operations? You need to convince an employer that his employees need this upskilling with ESG, let's say, knowledge. How can a company develop a comprehensive strategy for integrating ESG criteria into its operation? Okay, there is a growing discussion about ESG, but how can we incorporate this discussion and customize the toolboxes for this certain industry and our specific company? And another key question, how will the company's competitiveness be strengthened through the integration of ESG criteria? And how can we choose an effective position in the EU landscape regarding ESG reporting. So, the learning objectives, first of all, to identify the impact caused by the dominant business models, the so-called business as usual. How can we identify the business opportunities of sustainable development? How can we link corporate responsibility with competitiveness? And then, in practical terms, how can we design a roadmap, the steps to integrate sustainability and ESG KPIs into business strategy and practice? And then, what are the key axes, what are the key pillars for creating sustainable and share value, which is a relatively new term in this discussion? How can we have a 360 look around our stakeholders, and how can we integrate their expectation and needs in our practices? The step to create an action plan. So we have moved from strategy to the action plan, and then what are the steps for publishing an ESG report? And let's say at the attitude and behavioral level of the program, the aim is to shape and strengthen a mindset from either a consumer or an employee or a managerial or an entrepreneurial point of view to let's say, to introduce sustainable development and corporate responsibility aspects within these various types of mindset, let's say. And the general teaching approach is to use evidence from various industries, and at the same time share good and bad practices as well. So this is a nice to do. Never do that. Why? For these certain reasons, and build a stepwise practical roadmap. Because at the end of the day, this training program and this reskilling or upskilling has to offer practical directions for managers, employees, owners, and so on. Thank you. I hope that I was on time. Thank you.